Hi there, gang, and welcome to the first ever episode of Tory Talks Toys. And my name's Tory, and I'm just going to run you through different toys. Nice and simple. The main focus will be on Lego because, until we start covering other things, but for the most part, that is what I'm into. And you can see the little guy in front of me. He's Lego Spaceman. Now, the reason why he's the first one here. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to bore you too much. These episodes should not go for too long. Just a short, sharp look at different minifigures, different toys that you can go, yep, okay, now I know a little bit more about that. But of course, if you know more than I do, which is quite possible, please send through any feedback to torytalkstoys@gmail.com, and the address will be at the end of the episode. So this is the classic Spaceman from 1978. This guy is when he came into being. And he was one of the, I've got nostalgic feelings toward him because he was one of the very first Lego minifigures that I ever received. So you've got a fair idea of my age there. I'm certainly not a younger person, but he is absolutely amazing. So he's in fairly good nick too. I'll see if I can bring him up a little bit closer. See how the gold still is fairly intact. There's probably better examples out there on the market. Also, the helmet is still in very good condition as well. They did have a habit of splitting down the bottom there near the mouthpiece through regular play, and I've got plenty of them that are weakened and broken at that particular point. Also, you've got the head there. Now, hopefully this will show up okay, but see the Lego logo there? So it is an original Lego head in extremely good condition though, with a very good facial print. Just a little bit of damage to the right eye there. Not that I'm, doing this. This is just my Lego collection. It's not for investment. So the fact that it's a little bit worn sometimes for me actually adds appeal and charm. I don't want perfect condition pieces. But something interesting there, the Lego stud. In later years, they were changing the minifigure heads to have holes in there instead. And they were simply that if a smaller child got a Lego head put down their throat by mistake, or if they swallowed it, then that would be something that the air could still pass through and essentially the child wouldn't choke. This is another one of the fragile bits here, the air tank. Quite often these would break here because they are relatively fragile, but this one's in very good condition, so I'm pleased to be able to show you that one today. Once again, legs, straightforward design. They weren't doing prints on the legs back then, so it was just a nice set of red legs, which of course made the overall spacesuit. And finally, we did have just the hands, which of course do come off. If you've never pulled apart a minifigure before, there is a fair bit that can be done to them. And of course, even the arms can come off. I won't do the other one, but the arms can come off. And this was the very first classic Spaceman. Now, the two main ones that did come out in that time, both in 1978, were the white Spaceman, who I'll show you in another episode, and of course the red one here. Now, the red one did stay in production right up until 1988, so a solid decade. This little guy was entertaining and charming everyone, and it was just one of those first times that you could actually get into your play with a minifigure that put a little bit of reality into whatever it was you were building. You'd like to have that interaction. So it made it a lot of fun, and it was certainly a great part of my childhood. I certainly enjoyed the minifigures. To this very day, they remain a large part of my what I'm into when it comes to Lego. The minifigures, I love the bricks, but just there is something so utterly charming about the minifigures that they do provide me with many hours of enjoyment, and I do have a substantial minifigure collection, which is really neat because I do get to, in this case, what we're going to try to do here is share some stories about them with you. So I look forward to bringing in more minifigures. Once again, my name's Tory. This is the first episode, so I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I can do differently or better, but hopefully I've provided some interesting information and helping you to indulge your passion into Lego the same way I do. So any feedback, please send it through to torytalkstoys@gmail.com, or if there's a particular minifigure you might want to know more about, I'll certainly try to find out more about it. I particularly prefer to show you figures that I own, only because there's no point me just showing a random picture. and that way I can also pull it apart if it is possible, to give you an idea and a feel for how it all works. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to bringing you another episode shortly. Cheers.